Hi, my name's Barbara from Clarity. This is Paul. We're a little early to the party because this morning we couldn't get any sound out of the machine. And so we all learned a bit. So we thought we'd come in early because you don't know that you haven't got any sound until you go live. So I thought we'll go live before 2 o'clock, check with our friends at home, make sure you can hear us. Can Jilly hear us?
Have we got? We haven't had a signal yet.
Have we got a signal yet? Have we had a sign from the gallery? We just need
YouTube.
to know that the sound is working. Now. Let's have a look. I just need a signal or a sign, a symbol. Anybody there apart from us? So all we need is just somebody to tell us that they can hear us. No, not happening, is it? And that's why we came in early, Paul.
Absolutely.
No. So not there.
We've got 27 people in the rooms somewhere.
Somebody's bound to
friends
be able to
over.
You're live and clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christine.
Okay, good. Thank you. That's all we needed to know.
It.
And
breathe. Absolutely.
Because it did throw us a bit, didn't it?
It did. Well, we was talking to our friends at home, and then obviously we got told there was no sound, and then
you have to remember what you said and what you didn't say, and so that's okay. Yeah. You can hear us. And we had a busy 10 o'clock show.
We did indeed, yeah. I mean, you're definitely taking advantage of our
60%.
60%.
Plus discounts, plus
and our Friday freebie discount as well.
I don't know.
What's wrong?
If it sounds okay, I'm not in the stream.
But can you hear it on YouTube?
We're already live now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't got it online yet. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, so taking advantage of the 60% on those stamp bundles that we were showcasing this morning.
That's right.
And the Friday freebie where there's additional free gifts.
Should we take a quick look at that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, come on then. Let's take a quick look at that.
So this is for today only, hence it being called Friday freebie.
Go on then, Paul.
Okay.
Take it from the top, my friend.
Take it from the top. Right, let's hide that one for a minute.
I'm going to go and find my cup of tea.
Okie dokie. Right, so for today only, if you spend £50 or more, you will receive a pack of Barb's favourite designer paper. This is Great Lakes. Now, there's two different options. You'll get one of either of the different colourways. However, I can see from our friends' shopping baskets at home, if you spend £75 or more in one transaction, not only will you get Barb's favourite papers, but you'll also get one of our super duper Clarity Stamp roller tape glue runners. 30 meters on there, 98 feet, super strong. So there you go. And the order, and it's until midnight tonight.
There you go. And we're going to make it really easy for you to spend this amount of money.
Now, what we've also
honestly, it'd be a piece of cake.
If you've placed an order since Monday when we launched our Grey Friday week, you have from that point up until midnight on Monday, all orders placed will go into a golden ticket draw. And that gives you the opportunity to win the price of your order back.
Yeah, there you go. And it's a random pick.
It is indeed.
It's a random pick.
So
and so we've got Friday freebies, we've got golden tickets, and then we've got irresistible prices. And you know, this was something that I decided yesterday actually. So it's been a bit of a scramble to get it ready because I was looking at the bundles, the big bundles that we do, and I thought, you know, some of the big bunches of stamps, sets of stamps. When you look at the price of them, it's a considered purchase.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that you kind of hold off. If you're like me, you wait till a sale and then you see if it's affordable. And I was looking at it yesterday and I thought, we can make that more irresistible. And since Friday is Black Friday, yesterday was Thanksgiving, today is the official launch. Black Friday, Grey Friday is live.
Yeah.
We thought today would be the day that we go irresistible on
That's right.
It's all about stamps though.
Because Black Friday, I'd say traditionally, Black Friday, when it was introduced over to here in the UK, it was just a Friday, wasn't it?
Well, the clue's in the name, really, isn't it? It
that was it.
Black,
it didn't say
black between June,
July, August, September, October, November.
I know, it's getting a bit out of hand, isn't it?
So, but yeah, so today, that's why we've got these fantastic 60% off. And when we have a look at some of the prices of the bundles we'll be sharing with you during this
Yeah.
hour, what you're going to pay is absolutely crazy. So should we do some housekeeping on how our
good
friends at home
idea.
can order?
Good
So
idea.
if I bring a product in, so let me just go over here, and we're going to go to this collection here.
Oh, the Clarity Classics collection.
Yes, this is
I
the
love
Dippy
these
Toe
ones.
and Company A6. You're after the
Yeah, the
overhead.
peep sheets, yeah.
So, okay, so the item number for this you'll see at the top is 11925. Then you've got an image of that bundle, and you've then got the title. So it's the Dippy Toe Lady and Company A6 stamp collection with a free white gel pen. Okay.
Should we have a look at it
Yeah,
here so you can see
absolutely.
it in closer up?
So there we go.
So if I bring it in a bit tighter,
Yeah.
there, now you can really see it. So
Okay.
you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of stamps.
6 sets of stamps.
So these would normally be £10
£10
each.
each. That one's slightly
£7.50.
cheaper, yeah. And £2.20 for the free gel pen as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So
Okay.
that means that instead of paying, wow, okay, so you save more than you pay. You're paying 23 quid plus your club discount for
Yeah.
that. And instead of nearly £60.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So basically you're paying for 2 of them near on and a little bit more and
And you're
getting
getting
the
all the
rest of
rest.
that for free. And if you belong to any of our Clarity Craft Clubs,
Should we talk about the craft
I
clubs?
think, let me just pop downstairs and pick them up.
Let's talk about the craft clubs, because we've got 3 craft clubs.
Yeah.
They're the oldest, largest clubs, craft clubs
Mhm.
in the country.
Yeah.
And it's been going for a very long time. We've got thousands of members.
Mhm.
And the thing about our craft clubs is it's not just a discount club. It really is an educational one.
No, that's right.
It comes from education. It comes from teaching.
Yes.
And so and what you get a lot of bang for your buck, really. You know, for £6 a month, if you're
Yeah.
in one club, £12 or $8, it depends. But if you just look at the £6 that
Yeah.
you pay a month, it's quite something. Let's take a look, for example, at the stamp one from last month.
Yeah.
So you get really where it all started was the education.
Yes.
Because I really think it's one thing selling you a stamp, it's another thing giving you ideas and inspiration on what to do with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So here, for example, every month we send you a double project booklet. This is really all that's worth £6 just there.
Yes.
So you get a double project, two cards,
Yeah.
one by myself, one by Jane. And you can see here, there are really, really beautiful photographs, instructions written by ourselves, printed by ourselves in-house.
Yeah.
So very, very lots of tips and tricks, lots of ideas that can be modified and used for other,
Inspiration,
for other
isn't it?
projects. It really is.
Yeah.
But then not only do we give you the educational project, which is bound, right, month on month, you get 12 a year.
Yeah.
You also receive, as a gift, we send you the stamp to go with it.
Yes.
So now you're building your stamp collection, but even more importantly, in my opinion, you're building your knowledge.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And this becomes like an encyclopedia, doesn't it? And as you say, it's for the 12-month period. But not only do you get that, if you belong to one club, you'll get 10% off any of your orders online at any of our open days. And you also get a monthly newsletter written by yourself.
Yes.
What's going on at Clarity Towers.
Yes.
And twice a year, we also have the half-price club member sale, which is exclusive to our club members.
That's it. And so in fact, I got a really nice letter from a lady today who should remain anonymous, but she's obviously had a struggle. I read the letter with sadness and joy.
Yeah.
But one of the loveliest things was she said about the newsletter, because she said she's in the club.
Yeah.
In one of the clubs, and she said it's the newsletter that keeps her staying in the club. She loves to receive a letter from me. She kind of underlined from you, you know, and I thought that was, and she said, for me, she said it felt like she was receiving a letter from a friend, and she doesn't get many letters from many friends. And I thought, oh, I get that. I don't either, you know, and so I really appreciated the letter that she sent me, because I don't get lots of letters either. So it's a dying art, letter writing.
And
know?
also, I think when you're doing the newsletter, you don't just write about it.
No, it takes me all day.
Yeah, and it always comes from the heart, and it's not just about business and everything else. It's what's going on at home. the children.
Yeah.
I mean, earlier in the year, Mark and Alex got married.
Yes. I
Um,
sent loads of photographs.
yeah.
So, you know, it's very much a family affair,
Mm.
really. And so the newsletter is, you know, I write it just as a matter of course, but it is a newsletter to friends, actually.
It's that personal touch, isn't it?
Yeah. So you get your 10% discount on one.
Yeah.
Now we've got a Groovy Club as well. So again, we get a lovely plate designed always by Linda Williams.
Yeah.
And then we've got another double project,
Step by
Jane
step.
and Linda, step by step. Lots of tips and tricks again. It's a really good compendium. It's a building a compendium on an annual basis.
Of sort of tips and tricks and different techniques as well, isn't it?
If you join two clubs out of the three, then you get 12.5%.
You do.
So obviously it costs twice.
Double.
It costs double. But for 12 quid, you're getting 4 projects, 2 products, and your 12.5%.
Yeah.
And then for the third club, if you want to be one of my diamonds,
Diamond geezer,
then you join the stencil one as well.
Yeah.
Barbara, Jane, double project, beautiful stencils coming through. I mean, the stencils usually are $5.99, aren't they?
They are. Yeah.
There you go. So you got a stencil worth $5.99 as a gift. You've got a Groovy plate worth $5.99, and you got a stamp set worth $7.50 at least.
Absolutely.
You know, so you're making your money back just in the product, but actually what we're selling you is the information, the education.
Yeah.
And then you get 10% discount as well. So the more I talk about it, the more I think it's not enough. But that's okay.
But it is, and many of our friends at home have been in the club since the beginning.
Yeah.
And then as I say, we
very much so
developed with different mediums, like the stencils came next after the stamps. Then it was Groovy.
Yeah.
And so then there was the demand. People say, oh, can we have a club for this? Can we have a club for that?
And also, I do think, you know, that subscriptions, this is a subscription. So you can join a club and then pay monthly.
Yes.
Or you can join the club and pay for the year.
Yeah.
It's done and dusted. You haven't got to think about it. It's done for a whole year, for 12 months, regardless of when you join.
Yeah.
Right. For us, with all the churn and the turmoil and everything, I'll be honest with you, with all the turbulence that's going on at the moment since Create and Craft folded in Oundle, it's very important that we maintain or even grow our clubs. The subscriptions is what will keep us afloat. Because we know, well, that is the pivot,
it's
the
that regular
linchpin
income, isn't it?
of the entire project here, of the entire company. So we're very grateful to those of you who are already club members, and we'd be even more grateful if you could join another club, or if you're sitting on the fence and you haven't really thought about it, but you keep listening to this 10%, 12%. You know what? There's never been a better time to join one of our clubs.
And also, I mean, it will make a nice gift for somebody as well. Or someone says to you, oh, what do you want for Christmas? And when you think if you're paying by the monthly installment of £6 a month, it's not a lot of money, is it?
It's
really?
A coffee at Costa.
Yeah. I mean, even from the machine in the petrol station, that's £4 and that's gone in 10 minutes. Whereas this one, it just keeps giving, and you've got that record then that you can go back and look at it again and again. And
when you look at the prices that we're talking about now, for example, when you see all those stamps, right, for £23.18, actually, you're going to take another £2, another 12.5, or another 15% off there
of that
as well.
Yeah.
So that's quite something, actually.
It is. And so how do we join these clubs, Barb?
How do we join the clubs?
Yeah.
I think it says on the screen, doesn't it?
So if you go to the claritycrafts.com website, there's a section. Should we have a look on the iPad to show our friends at home? So you can either go to the website. Let me just bring that up for you.
Yeah.
There we go. Right. claritycrafts.com. We'll just give that a moment to load. Okay.
Cool.
And here you'll see that when this image in the middle loads, you'll see you've got the Clarity Craft Club. So if I just click on that one there, and then there we go, join the club today, and it gives you all the information we've just spoken about. If you want to go just for the stamp, you've got your options. If you want to go for just your stencil or just your Groovy, if
or
you want to join,
combinations.
Yeah, any two, and you choose. You may want to go stamp and stencil, or
they work
stamp
together,
and Groovy.
those two. Yeah.
So that's how you can do it. Or alternatively, you can call the number, if I come over here, along here,
01732
868 215 and speak to the lovely Sue. Okay, if we go back to
The
the front of
homepage.
the website, there we go. Look at this banner. Grey Friday 60% off Clarity stamps. What happens if you click there, Barb?
What's behind the square
What
door,
the-
Dave?
Didn't like that. Try it again. You had a gentle touch there, Barb.
Sorry, too gentle.
So what do we find here? I'm not saying
No, I'm
anything.
not going anywhere.
No. Do you wanna-
Okay, so if you scroll down here, you can see, for example, it's not just for big bundles, it's also for some of our favourite stamps. Look, £2.99 from £7.50 plus your club discount. Annie's beautiful stamp set, instead of £19.99, you save £12, is £7.99 plus your club discount. Let me just go into the filter and let me turn it round and go from high to low.
See, this is interesting you showing that, because maybe some of our friends at home
Don't
didn't
realise
realise
that's
that you
even
can
possible.
sort by
If you
different
go in here, you can
options.
filter best selling alphabetically, price low to high, high to low, date new to old.
Yeah.
Okay, but if we go high to low, then we're going to go to the biggest bundles now. The biggest bundles are at the front, and at that front end now. We've pushed them to the front. And this is where you can see, for example, these easy layout, the montage plates. I love
Yes.
these, right? So look at this. We've got 6 of these big A5
Five.
sets. That would be 100, they're 20 quid each,
Yeah.
basically. So you're looking at about £120 reduced to 47. Good
Pounds,
Lord.
I know.
I can't keep
And you've got the masks as well.
And you've got the masks in there as well. You've got your 3-way overlays. This is the one we looked at. Let me just go out there and go into the actual product. You can see here, those are the ones we looked at today, our lino cuts and everything that's involved in that one. There are samples as well. Art inspiration is there, but it's the price I'm looking at here. Yeah. £107 down to £43.19.
That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's also on your screen there. So the item number for that is 11729.
I did a couple of really cool demos with that one.
Yeah. So how do we
in
go
the
back
10
and
o'clock
watch
show.
the 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock show.
Well, let's go back into the homepage. It's always a good idea to go back to the homepage. So if we come in here, see Clarity TV up there, let's press that button. If we go to Clarity TV, then what you'll see is it says Catch Up and Craft. Having said that, before we click there, you'll see that all the things that are on the show today are in that shop.
Yeah.
We've gathered it all together. Right, so now let's click on here where it says Catch Up and Craft. If we go in here, hopefully we'll see now we've got the 10 a.m. show, Grey Friday Deals. That was this morning's show. And now we're working on this one. So this is live.
It is indeed. So all you need to do is press that button and you can watch it at your own convenience.
Yeah. So if you've missed anything, you can go back. So when I'm talking about this morning at 10 o'clock and you were perhaps at work or out or having your hair done or walking
shopping,
then you can come back and you can always come in to Catch Up and Craft on Clarity TV and you haven't missed a thing.
Absolutely not.
There you go.
Nice and easy.
So easy. So that's where we're at. And this is the set that we were looking at. If we just change the information on that one, this is a superb set.
I love this.
Real Clarity
It is a
classics.
classic. The Daydreamer in there.
Shall we have a look at the art boards so we can
Yeah.
see what they actually look like up close?
Okay.
Okay, let's take that out of the way. And let's just take a look at these. So we've got, let's go like this. So, let's just pan out a little tiny bit. I'm a bit too close. There we go. Right, so we've got happiness is time spent with a friend. This is a smashing stamp. This is a 2-way overlay again. And this negative stamp here, this sits exactly in there. But how beautiful is that on its own?
That's lovely, isn't it?
Right. Let me take this one here. So now we've got, oh, hang on. Let's go back a little bit because Paul's just found some artwork.
There we go.
Lovely. Look at this. So you see how the colour, the sky is the background there. Just like we did this morning.
I was going to say, that's what you showed us this morning, didn't you, with the other stamp sets?
There you go. So now we're looking at May the Road Rise, Irish Blessing, Blustery Day, beautiful stamp. Let's take a look at Sonia Goodliffe's masterpiece. Love it. So she's just used our infusion papers and just stamped straight onto it, rubbed out a little bit of white pencil work there on manila, always looks fantastic. Okay, next one. Now we're going to the dippy toe.
Dippy toe.
Dippy
Oh, there's
toe
so many
core.
to choose
So I've
from.
dined out on her for a few decades, I can tell you. Right, tippy toe lady, let's pop her there. So this is one that's been done on our black coated stock, Elaine Milner, bless her. Right, so this is done on black coated stock with the perfect pearls.
Yeah.
That's it. So very, very lovely indeed. And there's another one here by Kim Reggae. Love this as well, where she's used the same line art in the background. But this is the same as what I was talking about before, where this negative sits in there. See, this is
inside.
kind of, we've evolved, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm a real big fan of positive and negative artwork.
I think also if you're struggling for sort of like backgrounds and the color and bits and pieces like that, you've got your instant color, haven't you?
Exactly. You really do. It makes life so easy to do this. And so the other thing about this particular card, if I was to just take that off there, so you've got a lovely little square there now, right? So if you mask that off, you know, you don't have to settle for what you've got. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You can always move it through like so. So I'll show you a clever reflection trick when we get started. And here's one, daffodilly. Love daffodilly. There's a daffodilly one.
Daffodilly lily.
Yeah. So you can see here, there's a daffodilly. Love the way this has been done. I think this is a Tina Morris. Oh, yeah. So, for example, if you take masking tape, I'm just deconstructing the cards here. If we take masking tape and we just take a piece of 3.5 by 3.5, I just want to break it down for you so that you see how easy this is.
Yeah.
3.5 by 3.5 round all four sides gives you that.
With our low tack tape,
with our low tack tape, which is also in the sale,
31212.
So you're making your border, you're creating your aperture.
Yeah.
Then you just take 3 colours or 4 colours. You can brush them in, you can sponge them in. You got your background. Then you take your daffodilly. See what you're looking at here. All of these stamps. If we go back to the page. What you'll see is they're all silhouettes, apart with the exception of the blustery girl. They're all what we call solid surface stamps. They're not outlines. You don't have to colour them in. They work. This is why, like with the leaf, with the silhouette, she's even a silhouette, a dippy toe, and then you put her in there. You see what I mean?
And then yeah.
So because that's a solid surface stamp, you can take any one of them and drop it over the top. In fact, Tina made several of these. Let me show you. You see, solid surface, daydreamer, solid surface, solid surface. See, so you can make a whole series, and she's used bow wad papers in the background. But how lovely does that look?
That's really nice.
See, and she's winding it through there.
Yeah,
like that,
with the bow bobs, and we've got the bow bobs. I mean, obviously they're definitely going to be in the Grey Friday sale.
Yeah.
And the item number for set number 1 is 30514.
That's it.
Okay, and for set 2, it's item number 30515. However, if you can't decide, you can go for both 31519.
There you go. So you can see that that's what Tina's used in the background, like a ribbon. It's really nice use of the doodle dies as well. If you look at what she's done, she's picked out the colours. I really like this kind of, like, it's very nice to do. Low tack tape around the outside, colours on the inside, colours the bow wad papers, it's the same bow wad paper, same ink pads, then used a companion paper in the background with the doodle dies, and then just used a 3.5 inch to do the job. It's not difficult.
No.
But it's clever.
It's like batch making, isn't it? So you have a session of putting maybe your colours in, and then obviously completing it.
But what a lovely, gift. See, I'm all about, I love it when people send me a set of notelets. Because I don't have time really to make notelets. But for example, these with an insert on the inside, beautiful.
Yeah.
So then you've got a little pack of 6 of them, or if you're doing craft fairs and you're selling. If you say, I'm just, I'm an old businesswoman. If I sell you that, maybe I'll sell you that for £3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Transaction £3. If I sell you a pack of 6 of them,
Mhm.
I'll sell you 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I might sell you 6 of them for £15.
£15.
See, you see? In
Mm.
fact, if I'm feeling £15 for a pack of 6 with
With
envelopes,
envelopes.
handmade cards,
Yeah.
boom. And suddenly you, the maker, have got £15 in your bin, and the receiver, the customer, has got a beautiful set of 6 cards, and that's
It is. And
how
you
it
were
works.
talking about
Okay.
inserts, Bob. So we were showcasing our 12 by 12. Shenandoah sold out the other day because once it's gone, it's gone. And we've got a handful of Northern Lights designer,
the big 12 by 12s.
I think it's £10, 30746 for
Yeah.
that. And these, as you say,
They're fantastic for inserts.
beautiful. Yeah.
Because each one gives you a 6 by 6 insert, doesn't it?
Yes, if you cut them in
Right.
half and then fold them in half. So if you go back to Tuesday afternoon, as we showed you on Clarity Craft TV, you'll see exactly what we did with these on the inside of our cards.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. I mean, right, if you haven't got designer paper, all I'm saying is if you were using a black card, right, I'll be honest, okay,
Yeah.
black card like this, see, it's difficult to write on, copy paper.
Yeah.
Seriously, just copy
A
paper,
square of
fold
copy
it.
paper.
You know what
yeah.
I mean? You just take a piece of copy paper, fold it like that, trim it to 6 by, little less than 6 by 6. In it goes like that. Bob's your uncle.
Job done.
And then that way, when you attach it like we did before,
Mm.
well, should we do it just
Yeah.
to make a point? Right, so we
Don't
take
you-
a piece. Let's get the
Pop down and
I'll
get
show
the
you.
paper trimmer.
right. So you've got a pop. This is if you're making inserts and you're using coloured card.
Mm.
Not
Yeah.
so easy. The other thing is, as soon as you put an insert in a card, it increases the
It's
the
luxury,
value.
isn't it?
Becomes a
If you, I mean, I don't know if card shops still exist now, so to speak. But back in the day, if you go to, they were all coded, weren't they, on the shelf? And the more expensive ones had that lovely insert in it that when you opened it up,
That's right.
and then it had the verse printed on it and everything else.
So a bit of copy paper will give you enough to
Yeah.
put into a
6
5
by
by
6.
5 or a 6 by 6 for certain. Right, so let's have a look at this. Let's just push that to one side. We'll come back to the stamps, don't you worry. Right, so let's say we take this one,
Yeah.
right, and then we've got our folded copy paper like that. Now, if I pop that on there like so, that sits on there nicely. I probably want to, no, that'll do. Right, so, oh, hold on a minute. It's not, is that blooming camera
Naughty
again?
camera.
I nearly said something else then, and it didn't start with N.
Naughty.
Naughty camera. Still doing it. Right, so now how do I show this then? Okay, let's go to this camera.
Okay.
That will work. When in doubt. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I've got choices. If I pop this, if I put the glue runner also on the show.
They are indeed,
right?
for a set of 4, 31146. However, if you spend over £75 today in one transaction, then you'll also receive one of those free of charge.
There you go. So if I do that and I make sure that it's in the right place, I've done that so I know it folds right.
Yeah.
Now, if I take my glue runner now, my tape runner, and I run it on that side there,
Yeah.
right? Then when I close this up, like so, when you open the card, it takes that with
The
you.
top layer.
That's,
so, yeah.
you know, so that's really important that it opens up with you. Otherwise, if you put it on the back, then that's all well and good, but then you've got another, which is nice if you want to use this as a feature.
Yes.
So you could put one of the other stamps that's in the set,
Yeah.
right, and you could put it there.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
put it on that side there. But that's the simplest way for me to show you how to put an insert in there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you're making cards to sell, then what you do is you make the outers and then you have all the outers made. Pick an outer, any outer, which one tickles your fancy.
Yeah.
And then they give you the outer and they say, What would you like it to say on the inside, dear? Come back in 5 minutes. Pay me before you leave because it's customized, right? Come back in 5 minutes and I'll personalize it for you.
So
Go.
what you could do, you could take some of our lovely poetry stamp verses,
There you go.
or my favourite one, the special day sentiments.
Yeah, no
Just a
matter
note,
how
yeah.
you spend your day, I hope it's special in every way.
So what you could do, you could have some of those
However you spend it,
pre-printed.
whatever you do, is hoping this day is special for you.
You could have those.
Send a little note your way.
Everyone's going to have an earworm
You
now.
need to get those stamps
The special
because
day said that they're my
they work
all-time
for
favourite.
everything.
They really, really
They're
do.
about as vanilla and generic as it gets.
Yeah, and they're also available in Groovy as well. However, if you like writing on the inside of dark cards or even just on white card, and you want to add that little sort of luxury touch, then you may be interested in our Pergamano gel pens.
There's no flies on them today.
Yeah. See, because these will write beautifully on black and also on white and also on craft card as well. So you can see you've got that set of 7 and the item number for those is 70449.
So you've got gold, silver, bronze, pink, purple, blue and green.
Yeah.
I've seen you do a trick with these where you get in the groove with them as well.
I do get in the groove with them.
You actually get in the groove you play.
You do.
And it looks so nice.
It really, really does. It adds that, I think it can be a finishing touch to a card. Because often when you're working with Groovy, you can trace out with to get the white line
yeah,
art.
of course, that's what you do.
But if you want that something a little bit different, some of the design team, like Frances Knott, she's got a very steady hand with like we've got the Pebeo acrylic gold paint.
Yes.
And she would do that freehand. No. What's the groove for?
Yeah.
The groove will give you
a perfect line.
And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 different colours to do it in.
And how much are they then? Do we know?
I can look that up while we have a look at more artwork.
While I'm going to the next set of stamps, you could look up the price for
I will do that.
Cool. Or perhaps Jilly can. Is anybody in the gallery?
I'm sure Jilly can text me that through. So this is the lovely, I love this.
Daydreamer. Yeah. And also, this is one of those, see, we met in the old days, in the old days, back in the day, right? Yeah. When I started this game
32
years ago.
2 years ago.
Right, when I started, these were all individual stamps. That was a stamp, that was a stamp, and that was a stamp.
Yeah.
Right. And then that would have been £6.75. That would have been £6.75.
Wow.
They were all £6.75 stamps.
Goodness.
Because they all came mounted, you remember?
Yeah, on our lovely mounts.
And then there was this unmounted revolution. Because you see, I invented see-through stamps. I did. I know, I've been forgotten now, but that's okay. It happens. Nobody ever copied a bad idea. Then came this revolution with transparent stamps, and suddenly everyone and their brother's making see-through stamps, and they're selling them unmounted, which left us in a bit of a quandary. And so we had to get on board with that and change the system as well. You know, we can't beat them, you've got to join them. So that's how we ended up creating these stamps as well. And once we did that, that's when we got into the positive and the negative and the affordability. So here, for example, we've got some of our most popular stamps all in one little pack or one set.
$9.99 if that was full price for there. So if you said
$6.75 it was.
Yeah, $6.75. 1, 2, 3, 6, 12, 18.
Yeah.
19. 50,
that was
£20.25 just for that. Wow.
And can I just say, right, that the quality has not changed. The quality has improved. The quality has improved at Clarity Stamps. So it's not like it's a lesser product for less money. Not at all.
No.
We've just gone with it. We've worked with the industry, go with the flow. And it's also become more viable because we changed our stamping system.
Yeah.
And so it was affordable. We could do it. And rather than just cash in on it, and
I also think as the Clarity catalogue has grown, it's all about storage as well, isn't it? So if you go to the Clarity Crafts website and put Clarity Storage in, there'll be various different options for you to keep your stamps in. So
when we look at this now, I'm going to go to this one in a minute. I'll show you a couple of little tricks with these. Just you only need one little trick and then it'll be obvious. And then of course we've got the lovers, haven't we? The kissing couple. And this is again, so this has come with the cherry blossom, which you can see here. We've got the cherry blossom, big moon,
this is a barb one. This is, I know
screwed up paper, go back the other way with a bit of water. Walter.
Water from the altar.
There you go. So we're having a look at all the stamps there.
Mhm.
Should we have a look at a couple? We've had a good look at some samples.
Yeah.
You got any more you want to show us,
Yeah,
Paul?
I think this one's quite nice. This is a
Oh yeah, the
um,
Eileen Godwin special.
yeah.
I don't even have to look at the back. So Eileen's taken that beautiful Daydreamer, which is here, and she's again, we're using that low tack tape to create the border. See,
mhm.
because it doesn't leave a residue. It comes. You can work in there. It does the job. She's used the stripy stencil. May all your dreams come true in the background.
That's quite nice because it pushes the image to the foreground,
does.
doesn't it?
And because it's a solid surface stamp, you know what we're talking about, these silhouette stamps, that's how that works.
Yeah.
It pushes all the colour to the
So now
background.
this one's interesting as well because this is another one from Eileen. So
Mm.
this is from the Daffodilly.
Mhm.
But what she's done is she's taken from the Blustery Day. You don't really notice it until you look at it, so to speak. You've got that lovely Irish blessing
in the
in the background.
But
Very subtle, isn't
once
it?
again, she's used the low tack tape to create the border, and then everything stays within that border. That's how Eileen creates a frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many to
Okay,
choose from.
so
Okay.
let's have a look at. Shall we have a look at doing an actual demo?
Yeah,
Shall we?
absolutely.
Let's have a think. We've shown that one.
Yeah.
Have we?
Should we have a
was
look at what the other ones we've got on the show as well on the overhead?
Very good idea.
Just in case people missed out earlier show.
Let's have a look.
Okay.
So let's just take a look at what we've got here. Actually, okay, you've got that one that
I've
we're
got
just
the one
looking
we've just
at.
been looking at.
Okay,
yeah.
so these are the ones that we looked at this morning.
Yeah.
First of all, it was these beautiful woodland blocks.
These are lovely.
Demo, quite an interesting demo with a
Yeah,
with
two
a
different
white.
takes on it, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so I used
Yeah.
these two in two different demos. You might enjoy that.
Okay.
Then we did the big lino cut bundle. What a price! Look at that. I can't get over that.
I know, but considering that large A4 stamp,
That's
it's
£30.
Yeah, £29.99 on its own.
Mhm. And you're getting that, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 two-way
A6,
overlays.
Yeah.
And two
mega
mounts
mounts.
because you need two for the pair.
Yeah. And the
20
yeah.
card blanks.
That's mad, isn't it?
How much?
Item number 11729.
Okay, then we got this one, which
So
is
this is our
easy layouts, wasn't it? They were.
yeah. There we go. So we've got this stamp collection here. Item number 12032. That should be £100 bundle,
Yes, it should.
and it's £40 plus club discount. So even if you're a one club member, that's another £4 off. So that brings it down to £36.
Yeah.
And if you're a diamond club, that'll be another £2 off. So it brings it down to £34.
And these are, again, they're those solid surface stamps. There's that negative art. It's a really
Yeah.
big thing. And because of the way we make our stamps, this is entirely possible
Yeah.
for us to do. And then this, last but not least, this is the one we're showing. I mean, there's loads more in that area on the website.
Yeah, if you go
know.
into the Grey Friday 60% off clarity stamps, you'll find a couple of individual stamps.
Yeah.
But the best saving is with these bundles. £31.97.
It's how much you pay.
Yeah.
And you save nearly 50 quid.
Because these are £10 each.
Yeah. And these are so cool. Right. I've got to come in a bit closer here. Let me bring the camera to the art. There you go. So what you're looking at here, so this is a kind of a collaboration between Tina and myself.
Yeah.
Some I did, some Tina did. So this is one that I did called, what's this?
Chinese Lanterns.
Chinese Lanterns, thank you. And what you'll see is that the little black ones here, it's a two-way overlay. It's the same thing again. It's the same principle as that, except this time we're literally colouring with stamps. And the numbers, the indexing sheet is numbered, so you can see the numbers on the actual main picture.
That's right. So that top left one is, I think, number 9.
And then you can see the colours there. So these are numbered and those are numbered as well. So this is a really, really, it's so fun to do.
It's easy as well, isn't it?
And then we've got the ginkgo, which is the one I'm going to go to in down the road. Then we've got these lovely floral ones.
Starflower. Then you have the daffodil.
Daffodil.
Yeah. And then
that was the original one.
That's the original floral spray.
Yeah, love that one.
Then I think this one is your meadow flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then
poppies.
You've got your poppies.
Really funky poppies. Love them.
And then you've got your wildflowers.
The wildflowers. So you're looking at 8 sets here for 30? No.
Yeah.
30, I'm not joking. I look at this and I go, I'm looking at the screen with you and I'm going, how much?
How much? Grey Friday.
Grey Friday sale.
Definitely got irresistible today.
It did. And I think that's the point. If you're going to have a sale, have a sale.
Yeah.
That was what I said yesterday. We're going to do this. Let's do it.
Mm.
So those are the. Do you want to have a look at a little bit of artwork
Yeah,
from that
absolutely.
beautiful?
Shall I
Is that an
give those to
£80
you?
bundle for £30, basically?
Yeah. there we
Whoa.
go. Right, there we go.
Hang on a minute.
Do you want to bring?
Let's just wait a minute while the camera sorts itself
Well,
out.
do you know we've got over 200 friends in the room with us?
Have we?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pleased to hear it.
Isn't that
Let's have a look.
lovely?
Okay, so now we can take a look. Right, so let's just take a look at this. You can see that this is a really nice little piece of artwork. I love that.
And this was
It's a
originally doodled in the shack, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah,
It absolutely
ginkgo.
was. The ginkgo. We got a ginkgo in our back
I
garden.
know, that's lovely. When
Right
it
by
all
the back door.
falls,
Yeah, it's like a carpet of
it
yellow.
is.
And this is really where I took my idea from, was from there. And then all of a sudden there was ginkgos everywhere.
I know.
Did you
No,
notice that?
yeah.
And then this is another one. See, so you can take one little, this is a Julie Dunn special. It's just one little cut frame.
Yeah,
Right.
which you'll find on the website.
They're on the website. And then this is a triptych. So we've done all three. We did this. Do you remember? I did a craft along with this.
Yeah.
Where you can take your three and you can mount them and make a proper, this is like your Wales bed and breakfast. Isn't
Well,
it?
yeah, gallery. So if you're
Yeah.
selling your craft, that's a lovely way. So maybe you've got this as your gift, and then you could take your card to go with it.
Yes. But
Couldn't
what I
you?
want to show you, for example, is the difference in size. So let's just take a, let's just keep going looking at the
Yeah,
artwork.
there we go.
But let's say, for example, here's a really nice one, because these are all the bijou ones, the little
Yes.
A6 ones.
That's
So
right.
before we went this size, right, there's that one. We also had A5. So now I just want to show you the difference in size between the large one and the small one. It's considerable, Let's take a look, for example, here at the Chinese lanterns in this collection,
This
and
is
then look at the
lovely.
one in
the
the
original.
original. So there's quite a difference in size,
Yeah.
and this day and age, at the moment, I think small is good. Postage, I like small.
I think small is beautiful.
Yeah, so here we go. And you see all the colouring in. This is interesting. This will be an Eileen Godwin. Instead of colouring in the actual ginkgo, she's used the stencil, because there was a stencil
That's
as
right,
well.
on the larger one. Yeah.
I mean, it's not in this little bundle, but with the large one, you actually get the stencil too.
Yeah.
So Eileen's used the ginkgo stencil in the background. There are lots of beautiful pieces of artwork here. These are all smaller ones. I think you'll be suitably impressed. And then this is another really nice trick. It's just, you'd think I had a lot of masking tape in the cupboard, wouldn't you?
I've
See?
seen number 31212.
So you make your border as big as you want it to be.
Yeah.
You protect the other side, and then you put your artwork and you stamp into that
Infill.
area. If you ever see anything that's got like a white border on it, like there's another one.
I bet
See?
that's the width of the tape.
Of course it
Yeah.
is. Yeah. So just really cool to use. Just showing you some beautiful artwork. Many, many thanks to the design team for making us look incredibly good here. There you go.
That's lovely. That
Isn't that
sort of
lovely?
meadow of wild
Nice.
flowers.
Linda Spencer. Very lovely.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Right.
So we've had does it get warm in here?
It does. It seems to be the afternoon thing, doesn't it?
Right. Suddenly it got really warm in here. Can I hand
Thank
you that
Of course
artwork?
you can.
And so let's have a think. What are we going to do?
Ooh,
Go and open the
reflection
window.
trick.
Okay. Why don't you give it away?
I thought that's what you was going to say. If that was you.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look at the.
I'll open the window.
You go and open the
Open the
window.
window. I'll try not to jump or get pushed.
Oh, hang on a minute. It's this camera again. Okay. Right, I'm moving too fast. So I've mounted, I've taken this set now, excuse me, and I've mounted the Daydreamer on one of our 4x4-inch mega mounts.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to come out a little bit further so that we can see that. And Paul's just keeping that bundle there nice and steady.
Indeed.
and you're paying £23.
I'm going to take it off. You
Right.
keep going into shock every
I
time you read
do.
the
I can't
price.
understand it. Right. It's okay. We're on it. We're on it. So I'm going to use our designer parchment.
Do you know how much this is in the sale?
I don't really want to know. Go on,
No.
tell me.
£10.
From £24
From
down
£25 down to 10
to 10.
plus your club discount.
What? Okay. Well, I do know that we've got a lot of it in the cupboard, so
We
that's
have.
okay. So what we've got here is 48 leaves of beautiful designer parchment.
Yeah.
There are several different books. The one I've got here is Indian Summer. And it is really pucker. I mean, properly lovely stuff.
Top quality, isn't it?
Let me show you a trick. I'll take that one.
Okay.
Okay. And there's a front and a back. If you look, this is dull. That's the front, believe it or not. And the back is what the shiny side, where the ink is, if you like. It's printed. It's printed parchment. So let's pop that in there. And I'm going to use just that one piece.
Okay.
And then what I'll do though is, because parchment's translucent, so what I'm going to do is just slide a piece of copy paper underneath, so you can see. So this is the dull side. Way, sorry about that. So I'm using the dull side.
Right.
But as soon as you put a mat underneath it, like a copy paper mat or anything like that, you can see that it really it shows immediately how bright it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is just decide where I want to stamp, what area I want to go into. I'm happy with this area here where there's a bit of blue.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now, and I'm stamping on the dull side, and I'm going to use a permanent ink pad. So just bear with me a second while I get my new ink pad out. Right, okay.
Did you get that in the sale, Barb?
What, this?
Yeah.
I probably did. Have we got them in the sale?
They're in the sale.
Are
Everything
they?
on the Clarity, well, I say everything. Most things on the Clarity website are in the sale. There are a few exclusions. But no, they're definitely.
Are they?
Yes.
I want to get away from the paper in case, mind you, I've got plenty of it. But
also, you've got a trick if you did do that, haven't you?
I have. Shall I show you the trick as well? Oh, all right.
Don't throw the ink pad at it, but
no. Let's have it. I'll show you a trick.
You'd
So let's
forgotten
just
about
take
that,
it.
hadn't you?
I had, yeah. I'm so focused on what I'm doing. Right, let's just take this and let's just pop that down like that. And let's hope that we get a really good impression. Okay? This is on the front, on the dull side.
Yes.
Right, so I'm just going to squeeze that nicely. Just press that image into place. Let the ink do its job. Right, and then I'm going to take that away. And it's lovely.
It is.
It is. But let's say, just for the sake of argument, right, that I do this. Let me show you. Right, I'm going to do this, right, and it's not enough. I haven't put enough ink on it.
No, because you're just lightly tapping it.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go over here like that, and I've used the stamp platform, and I haven't really pressed hard enough.
Yeah.
Right, and I go like that, and I lift that off. Oh no!
Oh goodness me!
Yeah. If I've got a stamp platform, I have to go again. Now, I've watched them on telly, and then they go again and again, and you think, really? But then you can't help. Paul, the thing is, you can't help the thoughts come into your head. You just don't have to verbalise them all the time, do you, Barbara? No, you don't.
No, you just keep them up there.
Yeah, but sometimes I can't help thinking what I think.
Do you often shout at the TV?
Yes, I do. Right, do you remember I said when I'm cleaning my stamps, I use the rubbing alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, so hopefully this will work after now, me being a smart ass. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take a bit of this on here.
Okay.
So the point being, if I make a mistake,
yeah,
right, then if I go like that, there you are. See?
Goodness me.
I can
like
rub it off.
magic.
So that means that I'm not wasting. Look at that. And I made a real Horlicks of that one. And once that's dry, look, it's completely clean.
Clean. And you
There
can
you
stamp
go.
on it again.
And you can go again. So if I make a little bit of a mistake or I put a fingerprint on it or anything like that, I can use a blending tool.
Yes.
I can go in with a little blending tool
Yeah.
and a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and I can just tidy up my artwork.
Yeah, because sometimes when you're inking up, you can get carried away on the mount, can't you? And it can catch the mount.
That's it.
So that when you stamp, so that would be perfect for that. I mean, I would say, obviously, when you're stamping on parchment, be careful because obviously at $24.99 for the normal full price, it's quite a considered purchase.
But when you're stamping on parchment, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
Right.
£10 a pack.
£10 a pack. I'm not saying just go for it, but you know, it's not quite as precious, is
No.
it? So let me turn this over now. Now let's have a look at, I'm going to flip this over, and now
Okay.
I'm stamping on the back.
Right,
Right.
on the shinier side. So this will be a lot more
Slidey.
slidey.
Slippery, slidey. Yeah.
Slippery slidey.
So I'm going to go with the same ink pad, same stamp.
Yeah.
I'm inking it up exactly the same. Okay, take that. And now I'm going to hover with my handle in my mega mat.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that in the same place like that, plant that and press. So now I'm applying the same pressure. I'm not pressing any less or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using the translucency of the parchment to do the job for me. So that'll do. Okay. And when I lift that off, that's worked nicely too. But now what you'll see is I've got a reflection.
Nice.
And if I turn it over back to the front, it's even more pronounced.
Yes,
Yeah?
I think because of the softness of the colour on the front of that parchment.
Exactly. So this is a really lovely way to create. So I did one earlier, and it's a different colour. It's the same.
From the Indian summer.
Yeah. It's the
item
same
number
one,
30525.
And so what I wanted to just show you, because this one needs to dry now.
Yes.
Because then you say, all right, well, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Yeah.
I know. So I thought, right, I want to show you, because I've got other fish to fry, and it's already 10 to 3. I don't believe it.
Really?
So let's say at this point, because it's parchment, you could use the starter kit now.
You could indeed.
Right, and you've got the parchment starter kit. Because it's parchment, you see, when you go on the back and you use the grid from the parchment.
So
have you got it there, Paul?
I have a plate mate
There
and
you
a
go.
nested square.
So let me just show you how we get that white line, right? If you're not into, if I was to take this now, right, and this, and I've got my parchment there now.
Yeah.
If I'm working on the back of the parchment, right, when I do, if I do the tumble dryer sheet and just to show you the tumble dryer sheet and the tool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this because I haven't got time. But say I go up there now.
Yeah.
Right. And I take my tool and I've done my
wiping.
My wiping. When I go in there like that on this side, and I go in there like that on that side, when I turn it over, that's how I get my beautiful
Lovely,
white crisp
white line.
Yeah.
So with the starter kit, we've kept it at the Clarity birthday prices with a £31 saving. And the item number for a starter kit is 42144. So you're saving £31. It's £63.89. Just go to the website, put that item number in, and you'll find out all about that.
So let's say, for example, now a bit of project completion. I've got a different colour now.
Yeah.
Right. I've done the job and I've got my lovely white embossed line around there.
Yeah.
I've got my doodle die. Right. So I've got something to back it because white really makes it ping nicely.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, look, there's a moon there. I wonder how she did that.
Oh.
And then also, look, here's the same again. But I could use that now as my backing paper.
Oh, yes.
So then I'll bring that on there and I could use the shiny side. Let me show you. So the shiny side of the backing paper, let's say, it gives it just that little bit more luster as a backing paper. Do you see? I don't need it apart from the colour.
Yeah.
So then that sits on there. That sits on there. I probably would turn this round so that the blue's at the top.
And if you've gone for our nested, just our basic nested square dies, which will also be in the Grey Friday sale, you could then cut this piece of parchment out of the middle of that one behind it.
You could,
couldn't you? Sort of gut's a horrible word, but
you could take the middle out of that. So you cut that out there like that.
Yeah.
Right. Then when you put that over the top, you've got that.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
Yeah. 2 for 1.
Well done, Paul, for spotting that. But that's why I did it bang in the middle, because then when I cut it out, you see, it leaves the outer edge so that when I do that, it frames it.
Lovely.
And I can set that on there. And also, before I glue that to there, I would be tempted to use Brad. Although, having said that, the great thing about designer parchment is you can use
The
this and it
tape
doesn't show,
runners.
does it?
No, absolutely. So a set of 4 of those tape runners is item number 31146.
Is that it there,
That would be
Paul?
those ones there. This is our little shop behind us. It's
Alright.
easier rather than sort of
One-stop shop.
have a great big list and then find it. I can just go straight there
There you go.
and give you that
So you
number.
get 4 of these
Yeah.
for what number?
Item number 31146.
But if you spent over
£75, not only do you get
Freebie Friday,
not only do you get Barb's favourite designer paper, Great Lakes,
Mhm.
you'll also get one of those fantastic tape runners. So if you've been on the fence thinking, oh no, I've got plenty of tape runners, what's that that famous shop? It's not just a Clarity, Marks and Spencers. What do they say? It's not.
it's not just any old Marks. It's not any old. It's Marks.
Yeah,
and
it's not
Spencer's,
any
yeah.
old tape runner. This is a Clarity tape runner.
There you go.
There we go. Got
there in the end. So what I'm doing now is I'm just showing you how to put the moon in just quickly. I'll show
Yeah.
you how to get the moon in.
Okay.
So let me just, we're working on this one, so I'll show you.
Yeah.
If I take the moon masks,
Yeah.
what I've done is, while Paul was getting his head around Marks and Spencer's, I was cutting this out, right?
Right.
And what I need to, I want the open moon. So I'm going to use this bit, that bit
Which
there.
some people think that's the waste part, isn't it? Because
No, because yes, of course,
Yeah.
but no, in this particular instance, it's not. So I've done this,
yeah.
and then I'm going to take my moon, and on the front, you see, there's no ink.
No.
So I have to turn it over to the back
Where it's shiny.
where it's shiny.
Yeah.
And then let's say, for example, this is what's at the top. That's the top.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in here and put the shiny moon in first. Right.
Right.
So let's do this here.
Okay.
Okay. So now I need a white eraser pencil. White eraser
Also
pencil.
in the Grey Friday sale.
And then I'm gonna, and this is where, honestly, I've really enjoyed working with designer parchment.
Yeah.
Because you can make the most phenomenal stamped artwork by using well, it's not just
It's not just for parchment art, is it?
no, and it's also not that, you know, you can do it in a really arty way. I've done some superb art.
Mm.
I mean, sorry, that sounds big-headed, but it's
No,
using the
parchment.
properties.
Yeah, I remember it was at the Crowborough Community Centre. We did one of our summer workshops
With the tightrope.
with the tightrope
I
and the lovely the moon fairy.
Yeah, the moon fairy.
Stamp.
Yeah, and you can take a stamp that is line art.
Yes.
Like I could stamp her onto here,
Yeah.
and then I could use the rubber out on the back. You stamp the stamp on the front,
Mhm.
and then on the back you take out the image.
Yes.
You take out. You could put a little sun. You put a little moon in there. You take out a little bit of light. You leave the color in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's phenomenal.
So even though you may
Or-
not be,
Or these.
I was going to
I
say,
stamp that on parchment, and then you flip it over, and then you just rub out the color. It's fantastic.
it is. So you may not be into your parchment crafts, but at the price of £10 a pack. So I'll just give out some numbers while you're doing that, if
Well, no,
that's
you
okay,
can.
Barb.
I'll share. Go on. You
Okay.
come over.
Right, so Indian summer that Barb's using,
Mhm.
item number 30525. The original one where it all started is Northern Lights, 30526. Another of my favourites, which is Toscana, 30933. Lovely sort of zesty colours here with my Maya Falls, 30934. Then we have Shenandoah, 30542. And then finally, Rainbow River, 30540.
Good.
Lovely.
So now, I mean, this is really super. So now this is, even though the ink is on this side, this is done on the back.
Yes.
So then I'll turn this over, and I've just got to marry up the same area, but I've got to know that this is wet.
Yes.
Right? Or well, it's not. I'll wait till it's dry. But let's just say, so he's going to come up there like that, and then I've just got to marry up to make sure that the circle is in the same kind of place, because the reflection's going to be pretty much in the same area.
Yeah.
See, so now I'll do that like that. Again, I've got to work on the shiny side because it only takes ink out it won't take ink out on this
There's
side.
nothing
Look,
to
I can
remove, is
there's
there?
nothing to remove.
No.
So that's why it works for parchment. And now I can take that same white pencil, and maybe this is, let me get this right. This is now the reflection. So maybe it
Yes.
doesn't want to be as bright.
As
It would be a
bright.
bit weird if it were that
Yeah.
bright, right? So now maybe I'll just go in and I'll be a bit more casual about, I won't make it quite as white. See?
So leave
it's in
some of the
the
colour in there.
yeah, leave
Yeah.
a little bit in there. So let's see if that looks good. See if I turn that over. Yeah, do you see what I'm getting
Mm.
at? So now if I and if I don't like it, I can always put it. No, I quite like that. See, so you've got your
Yes.
moon, but it's more subtle.
It's subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how that works. That's how the parchment works. I'm a big fan of stamping on parchment because of the stretching, the white
Yes,
work, the
absolutely. So
the
you-
inkability, the
Yeah.
taking out of the ink. There's so much
And also,
mileage there.
if you stamp and make a mistake, you can start again. Because if you stamp
Yeah.
on a card,
Yep.
you stamp on the card, that's it. You
Done.
can't do anything about it.
No, done.
With the parchment, with that trick using the rubbing alcohol,
It's great,
you can
isn't it?
take it off and start again. And I think that can also give you confidence as well.
Yes.
Because you think, oh, if I do make a mistake, then I can get rid.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the colours are all there for you already. So when you're
Instant
working,
backgrounds.
you know, and whether you're working with a groovy system, whether you're a groover or
Yeah.
whether you're a stamper, the designer parchment, it's got all your backgrounds, all that fantastic colours already there for you.
Yeah, and there's no thinking about because I mean, if you wanted to, I mean, obviously you couldn't recreate that on parchment at home.
No.
Because I mean, the
No.
designs were originally created with alcohol ink
Yeah.
onto special paper, and parchment doesn't like moisture. So even if you had clear parchment, if I'll try it with all the alcohol. But the thing is, you'd only get it once.
Yes.
But it wouldn't work on parchment
no.
anyway. So that's why you've got those packs where you get 12 different designs, 4 of each sheet. And for that price, so 48 sheets for £10 at the special price without any other club discounts.
Yep.
That's what, 48p a sheet?
That's crazy. How much? £48.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
I want to show you one of my most loved stamps.
Okay.
It's in that set as well.
Yeah.
It's in that same set with May All Your Dreams Come True.
Okay.
Right. There's Jazz added this, next gen, right? This is such a beautiful little stamp. Okay. So if I ink this one up, let's just pop this on a piece of card like that. Okay. And then I'm just going to hover with the handle and press, right? And breathe. Look at that.
Wow.
It's such a beautiful, sharp, look. It's the detail on the stamp is crazy. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, isn't it
that
lovely?
Looks printed.
Yeah.
It really, really does.
Isn't that nice? And you can stamp that onto the parchment. I just wanted to show you that that's also included in that
complete
set.
complete collection, which is 11925.
I say that to myself a lot. And breathe.
But we'll whisper the price that Barbara doesn't hear. £23.18
for all of them.
For all of
No. I mean, I was the one that called called it.
No,
so
I know.
and I'm glad because you know the truth of it is we made all these stamps for TV. They didn't sell. We've got them. They're made. Let's move them through.
Spread the love.
Let's spread the love because we've already spent, we've invested, we've done the job, and now it's time to share.
Absolutely.
So that's the truth of it. You know, if you're wondering why we're doing this, it's because we had the stock.
Yeah.
We had the stock. We didn't make the stock for the stamp.
And when, like, so for example, on this lovely configuration you've got here, once one of those stamps sells out, that'll be it. So the sooner it pops into your basket as well.
Yeah, because if we've got, let's say, for example, now we're going to go to this set, just because I think we should, just quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. If we look at this set here, which is absolutely amazing, right? If we sell out of that one, then the bundle becomes obsolete. You know, and that will happen that one of these is going to sell out
because
individually.
they are available individually, and the way that our system works is that they're available individually, and then the system puts it all together to create the bundle. So if somebody jumps ahead and buys one of those individually and it's gone, then what happens is the bundle then drops off and says sold out.
I know.
Very clever, that, isn't it?
Now I want to just, can we go to this bundle?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you want to have a quick look at it?
Yeah. So we've got it on the overhead.
Let's take a look at this.
Bring that into play there.
So we can see here we've got these 8 beautiful sets of flowers.
Yes.
And I'm just going to indulge the one that's
the
all
ginkgo
over.
that you
yeah,
doodled in the
like
shack.
a carpet of yellow at the moment at
Yes.
home. So I just want to show you this though. So I've mounted this stamp onto one of our.
Is that the 4.5 by 6.5?
It was the one that was
Mega
with the lino.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it was 4.5 by 6.5, which comes in that lovely bijou lino cut collection.
So I want to show you how they work because it's like a jigsaw puzzle.
Mm.
They are like a jigsaw puzzle. So let's have a look because there's another thing I want to flag up: ink pads.
Yeah.
Ink pads. So you remember I said on the parchment you need an archival ink, a permanent ink.
Mm.
Okay. So what we're doing here is we've got permanent ink pads. We use black a lot because of course we do a lot of colouring in, but you can get archival ink pads in all kinds of colours.
Yeah.
So what we've always sold so far is our archival ink pads.
Yeah.
Watering can, pot and soil, lolly, 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 lolly.
Yes.
Right. Now, they come in a tin, right, which is great.
No tin separate. You buy the individual sets.
You buy the sets, but what I mean is you can buy...
You can buy the tin.
Yeah, so
as
I've got 3 sets here
Yeah.
in a tin. Right. But what I've just looked at is that this is needs a bit of explaining. So these now, it says distress, right, but they're not distress inks. They're archival inks. They're the same as these.
Yeah.
But what Ranger have done is they've taken the distress colours
And made it
and
with
made
archival ink.
Yeah, so what we've got here, if you don't mind my just
Yeah.
grabbing these, we've got lots of these in stock as
we
well.
have indeed,
Right.
yeah. So the number in the bracket is set 1, set 2, and then there's your item code.
And then you've got your item code is
Yep.
next to it.
There we go.
So you can see the different sets. Set 1, set 2. These are all, you'll recognise the names. Picked raspberry, barn door, spice marmalade. But they are actually...
Archival.
Yeah, water fast.
Yes.
They don't bleed.
No.
Right.
It's a permanent, just like the
They're
black
a permanent
archival.
ink, like the black. So you've got 1, 2, then you've got 3. This is interesting because here we've got black, soot, ground espresso, hickory soft and vintage. So here are your outlines.
Yes.
Here are your outlines.
Yeah.
Okay. If you wanted line art.
And you didn't want a solid
And
black.
so you don't, yeah, well, you got black soot, right? But this is jet black.
Yeah.
This is black soot. They're black. Black is black, right? But there are different sorts of black.
Yeah.
Right. Then we've got 4, 50549. This is nice. Speckled egg, evergreen. So you've got some really nice colours. Thing about archivals is they give you a really crisp ink, right? Then you've got 5 and 6. So now you've got 6 altogether. 505, 50, 50551. And then you've got your tin. 30872. So if you're wondering, so let's get rid of all these. What I've done is I've taken a tin and then I've filled it, look, with sets 1 to 3. And then when I open this up, 4 of them, set 1, 4 of them, set 2, I'll show you. So now at the back, what I did was, because it's black, I put number 1. So then when I go to replace them,
yeah.
I know that comes from set number 1. These ones come from set number 3, and these ones come from set number 2. And I used a Posca pen to cover on the black. Yeah.
So if you went for all 6 of those little mini archival sets, and then you just need 2 of those tins to keep the whole collection in.
So the original archivals, you see, I've written them on with a black Sharpie pen, 1 to 3.
I think this is nice. Maybe if you're new to stamping and you can't afford the full size ink pads, this is a lovely sort. It's like a taster, isn't it?
It really, really is. It really is. It's exactly that. So I can take my black soot now, let's say, and I'm going to use my. It's stuck. Yeah, I thought I had it just now.
Magic.
And I'm going to use my this time. Let me put this over here, and I'll use a 6 by 4.5.
So this was the new size that you launched earlier in the month, I think it was.
This was to do with the landscape, those masks.
Yeah, so that was at the beginning of November.
Yeah, just a really cool size.
Yeah.
6 by 4.5, and the number is 31720.
There we go. So that'll definitely be in the Clarity Grey Friday sale.
So let me show you how these ink pads work, because they're really nice. It's like Paul just said, you know, if you can see from the colours, light,
Yeah.
darker.
Yeah.
Right, but I'll show you how to get mileage out of this.
Right.
How you
Okay.
can change the colours substantially.
Right.
But first we need some line art. So let's go for the line art.
Okay.
And I'm just going to use black on my ginkgo or on any line art.
So this is from the collection item number 11901, £31.97.
Right. So I'm just going to pick that black there, and I just need some line art to work with. Right. So I'll stamp that on there, and I'm giving myself a bit of wiggle room if I want to put a message or a bit of stencil. I've got a bit of play.
Yes.
I could do it in the middle, but I prefer to do this. And if it's black, great. If it's not perfect, great, because I'm doing the infill.
Okay.
Okay. If I want it to be lighter going into the game, then I'm going to pick Hickory Smoke.
Yes.
Or the espresso one.
Yeah.
But let's just stick to the plan. It's nice. It's all right. It
I
works.
like that.
Lovely line art. Very nice.
The detail.
Wow.
Goodness.
So this is still, let's say this is still a bit wet.
Yeah.
So here's one I did earlier. Here's another one I did earlier. So I've got a black dry.
Black, yeah.
And this is, I let it dry a little longer on the stamp before I planted it.
Oh, that's
right.
a
So
good
it's the
tip.
same one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like I say, you could use grey.
Yes.
But what I wanted to do is show you, let's just take one of these. I'm going to go with Mermaid Lagoon. Let's just take that one, and let's take Fossilized Amber. So I've got those, and I've written on the back, so I know where to put them back.
So,
that was a good idea. I have my moments, right? So what I'm going to do now is all about, let me take that out of the way. It's all about the numbers on the carrier sheet.
Oh, yeah.
So you see on the carrier sheet, you've got 1, 2, 3, there are loads of numbers on there.
Yes.
Right. And those numbers tell me, see, because the numbers are also on the leaves. So you can see if this one's, let's say this one here says number 6 on it.
Yeah.
This says number 6 on it. So I know that leaf fits that one. This one says number 7 on it. That one fits that one. See, because it says 7. So this is like your key. This is like the front of the jigsaw puzzle. There's nothing worse than a jigsaw puzzle when you lose the lid. Right. But so number 2 here, this big one, there it is there. I mean, some of it you can tell just by the shape.
Yeah.
But some of them are quite similar. And then, you know, and the other thing is, that's all well and good. When you start looking at these ones, right, or these ones, you'll be happy that you got the numbers. Okay, so let's take a look. If we use, I'm going to use one that's already dry.
Okay.
Just because you can, what happens is that you can pick up the ink and then you get.
And then you transfer
it. So what I'll do now is I'll take a piece just so that we can see the difference between, I'm going to use a bit of white, but I'm going to do that so that you can see. So I've got a bit of white to play on.
Yeah.
Got that, and that. And now I'm good to go. So let's start, for example, with number 6.
Okay.
Right. So I'm going to take number 6. So I've gone like that. That one says number 6. I'll find number 6. There's me.
Yeah.
So for the sake of the TV, I'm using really long mounts so that you can see exactly, right? You can see exactly where I'm placing it.
Where you're going to place it.
Right, and I'll try and keep my head out of the way.
So these are the vertical long mounts, and the item number for a set of 5 of those is 30564. Okay,
so what I'm going to do is show you on a bit of copy paper.
Yeah.
So I use Mermaid Lagoon. These are brand new. I only opened them 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I've got these at home, right? But these are brand new. I literally just cracked them open.
Yeah.
Wet ink pad. Once they dry out a little bit, and they will, they're easier to handle. But when they're new, it can be a little bit too savage.
Yeah.
Who's he?
Juicy Lucy.
Okay. Right. So I've got my Mermaid Lagoon, and I've got this one. And then I'm going to take advantage now of me Spot On sponges.
A pack of 4 of those gives you 64 of them. Item number 31215.
So let's just try something out. If I take, this is what we do, right? I'll show you what we do, and then I'll show you what we can do.
Okay.
Okay. So if I take this stamp, and I stamp it on there like so, direct to, then I go like that. It is dark.
Wow. Yeah.
Right, it's dark. If I go ink blot plot, it's too light.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? So it's like, which I want somewhere in between that.
Okay.
So if I use my, let's go like this. I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I know which one it is. It's this one.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to go in there like that. Okay. Ink up my stamp, blot it on my mask, then go in on my, not on my mask,
your
on my
spot on.
sponge, and then blot. So it's ink blot plot. Perfect.
Wow.
And it's not so dark. Do you see?
No.
So I go ink, blot, plot, and I get a really nice colour. If I want it to be a little bit less dark, that was a bit dark, let's blot a bit more, right? So what I'm saying is now this
Wow,
really
you've got all those different
controls all the different shades. Yeah. So you're using, so you ink, blot, twice, plot. Plot. And what you'll find is this really helps with the amount of ink. Let's try a different one. Let me show you.
Okay.
I'll go in again, right? Let's do this. I'm going to use this large one here. So that one, according to my jigsaw puzzle, is number 7,
Right.
which is this one here.
Yeah.
So I'll go to 7. I don't want it to be quite so dark, let's say. Okay. So here's another trick. Instead of pressing, because it's a brand new,
Yeah.
let's try this. So now I'm going to go like that and see what happens if I apply the ink this way.
Okay, so ink pad to stamp.
Yeah, ink pad to stamp rather than the other way around. Let's have a look. It's light, a little bit blotchy.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, you can definitely see that.
But it's blotchy. But so let's try again. Let's go again. Press a bit harder.
Okay.
Right. Now this time, let's go. Let's see what we get this time. Press a bit harder. No, it's a bit blotchy. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So now let's go back in that way. And now let's press there like so. And now let's see if we can get a better colour. Yes.
Nice.
So you can see you're using this as a, this is useful, right?
It's like a cross between an applicator and a transference.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take this, and if it's too light, I can always go back, can't I? That's the wrong one though. You know when you're looking at something, you think, well, that doesn't fit. Let's go to this one. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see it doesn't fit when you hold it over the top. You offer it up. So now what I was trying to do, and it's worked, is I've got a lighter one. So when I hold this up to the light, when I hold this up to the camera, you can see the front one's a little bit lighter than the back.
Yeah.
See, so you're getting contrast now. Just check these two, because this is really, really cool. If I show you one that I did earlier, you can see now I'm changing the colours up a little bit. So I've offered up the blue, and then I've taken that fossilized amber and I've changed the colour.
Wow.
So you see how you start to move the colours around?
Yeah. I didn't think you could do that with archivals because they're quite quick drying, aren't
so
they?
let's try something then. So now I've tried this. Let's say I want to put some yellow. So this is really a fossilized yellow, but I've got a bit of blue on here.
Right.
So now let's see what happens if I mix. So I haven't got any blue. It's a fast dry. It's gone.
Yeah.
But is it gone? Right.
Yes.
So let's see what happens if I go into the yellow now, into that one.
Okay.
Right. But I use my sponge.
Yeah.
And now I'm going into this one to pop. So you're working with a couple of different colours and a couple of different images. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're mounting this work, you can, there, see? So now I've got a green. Now I didn't have a green. I was using a very bright yellow. If you use this, it's a completely different colour to this.
Yeah.
Right, that fossilised yellow, if I take one that I haven't used yet, this is number 4. Let me just pop that one in. That's a bit too small. You can't. Yeah, let's use that one. Okay, and then we'll tell you a story.
Once upon a time.
I just want to show you this one, yellow.
To see the true colour.
Yes.
Yes.
And I also, what I wanted to explain is, look, see, it's a very different yellow to the green that I just offered up. Look.
Yeah.
See, it's completely different. It's because there was a little bit of blue still on there.
So it sort of
blends into a green.
reactivated itself.
It does. So now let's take that. And now I'm going to blot it. I need another sponge.
Another sponge.
Yeah.
In the cell, Bob. In the cell.
So if I just do that, right, and then I can hold that one over there. That don't fit there, see? I'm not looking at me
You're not looking at your indexing.
my indexing, but look at the difference between that
Wow.
and the green that I just used the same ink pad. So what I'm saying is that the
All
stamps,
of a sudden, so you've gone for sets 1, 2, and 3
Yep.
to fill that tin. So when you start looking at the mixability of the different colours,
but I've used one from one and one
one
from
from
two,
there, and
so,
you use the black from,
and the black from 3,
yeah,
just to really sort it out.
But I think number 3 would be your essentials, wouldn't it? Because it's your line art collection.
You need this one for the line art,
Yeah.
and then this is like a mixing palette.
Yeah.
And the stamps do it, and you use your sponges as a mixer. Now I wonder what would happen. Let's say if
Are you going rogue here, Barb?
I'm going rogue.
You're
What
going
would
rogue.
happen if I go in here now? Even though this is dried, I'm going in with the yellow, right? Hey, there you go. So now I've got these beautiful blues. Even though you'd think it's a fast drying ink pad, it's an applicator now.
Yeah.
And I'm getting beautiful colours. So here we go. I'm going to use that one now in this one. So my point is that what I'm doing is I've got 2 line arts on the go.
Yeah, I was just about to say that's a really good way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm going to get a bit of ink, bring it in like so. Oh, I need a bit more, don't I, Gray? Let's have a look. I need a little bit more than that. But that's the other thing is, of course, I can go in more than once, can't I?
See, that's how I thought you had done that one where you had that colour tone, sort of where you mix the
look
two.
at all the different lovely colours that are coming through now.
Wow.
From those 2 tones. Isn't that lovely?
I really love those colours together.
Yeah, me too. And then you see how you can just stay blue, just blue tone in tone, even blue on its own. Let's just see if it holds its. There it is.
There we go.
See, so you've got all the different tones and colours.
Yeah.
It's really, really nice to use.
Wow.
And let me tell you a little story. So this is funny. On this set here, we had a little bit of a heart attack earlier on, didn't we? So I said I was preparing just in between the 2 shows. And I said to Paul, look how much time we've gone over.
We've still got 200 friends plus in the room.
I love you for that. Right. So let me just show you this. So that goes back on its little carrier sheet.
On the right number.
And that one goes back on its little carrier sheet. So I got my little. So the other thing on this set, right, and I was really chuffed about it being here. So down the bottom, look, look at me. Look. Oh.
Can you see it?
Hang on, let me just make sure it's not. Yay. See down here?
Yeah.
See the little ginkgo sign?
Yes.
Right. So I've gone, oh, I love that stamp. It's lovely. I remember doing it in the shack. We wrote our names and we wrote the letters over each other, and you created a really fabulous sort of geometric
like a symbol type thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So I said, oh, brilliant. I couldn't remember that we had put that on there. That'll make a lovely little sort of Japanese, little
twist
accent.
Yes.
Right. So I said, I'm going to show that off at 2 o'clock or at 3 o'clock. Right. So I go, so I get this little stamp and I mount it, right? And then I go, oh, no, they're back to front, Paul. Right. And I went, can I have a word?
I was the other end of the building.
Paul! Right. So I go, oh no, this can't have happened.
How many have we made?
How many have we made? So I've inked it up. I've gone like this. I've stamped it onto a piece of card because it makes the most beautiful like
look
that.
At the quality of that.
And I'll bring it up to the camera. And I was like, oh no, please don't. Oh. No, I'm coming into this camera. So I've gone like this and I've gone, dear God, don't tell me. Let it find itself. Hang on a minute. Right, because you've got to see this. It's so small. Right. And I've gone, no, we've got a reverse stamp. This is a disaster because it can happen, right? It doesn't matter if it's a tree because it's that way or it's that way, say. But when it's a word, you've got to be so careful. Yeah. And I'm not kidding. Because I know how many we've got. And I was like, no. Paul! Right. So he's down in the stamp room, opened them up. I said, how many of them are dodgy? Because we can't sell them like that. We're going to have to throw them away and I can't cope. Right. And then he goes, could it be upside down? I said, I don't know. So we've both raced up.
Because the ones in the packaging looked okay, didn't they? Yeah.
You said, They look all right to me. And I said, but the one upstairs is, it must be, it can't have one. If one's
No.
dodgy, they're all dodgy.
Unless we'd sold the dodgy ones that we'd made
And I
without
never heard a
realising.
complaint.
No.
Right, so we were like, so then right, you ready? So this is, and on this happy note, I'm going to end. Right, so I've come in here and I've gone like that. And then I realised that I'd mounted it on the handle the wrong
Upside
way
down.
round. The word ginkgo is at the top, and I could have saved myself a lot of angst just by actually looking at the word. And now if I come in, look, hold on, you can see, oh, this camera.
There we go.
There you go. Look, ooh, there. And they're beautiful.
That's lovely,
And if you
isn't
look
it?
at that symbol underneath the ginkgo word, you can see the G, the I, the N, the K, and the O.
Oh.
Isn't that a nice little thing?
It is, because I remember, because when I was going through all those stamps down there, I'm thinking, Barb did it in the chat, Barb did it in the chat.
I know.
What? Because I'm trying to Google ginkgo symbol, and then it came to it, I couldn't find anything.
No, you wouldn't,
But it
because we
wasn't,
made it.
because you made it, and
Yeah.
it came back. And I think, but it's a G. So the G, the mouth has got to open to that side.
Yeah. And so there it is, in all its little glory. It's part of that set. Good for ginkgo.
Yeah.
There it is. And not upside down.
Good
so
for
there we
goodness
are.
me.
Good, G for goodness me. We averted a disaster. There you go. And that, my friends, is how the ginkgo looks when you infill it with these superb archival
Distress ink.
So the word distress just tells you where the colour flavour
Colour
comes from,
palettes
the
come
colour
from. I
palette.
suppose it's the
Yeah.
same with like the distress ink pads, the distress oxide, and now you've got distress archival.
I guess so, yeah. So, but they're very, very lovely. And I think they're in the sale.
They are. They will have some money off, and if you're in the club, then you will also get your club discount as well. And if you wanted to go for all 6 sets, then you need to pop 2 of those tins in there to have the whole collection.
There you go.
Super
And
duper.
so that beautiful floral collection,
Yeah.
that collaboration.
So the item number for that is 11901, 31.97.
For all of them.
For all of them. Stop.
But the fact is, we got lots of them, and so we want to share them with you.
And let me just put it into perspective, because I mean, you can look at it on the screen, right? Okay, so it's 1.
Oh, can we put them?
I get upset Barb now.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Let's have a look on the screen.
Okay.
So we can see them for real.
So you got 1,
1, 2.
2, 3,
Okay.
4,
Ginkgo, my fave.
5,
Okay.
6,
I love that one. That was original.
7,
Daffodilly.
8.
No. 8
8
for £31.
for £31.97, because they're
Okay.
£10 each, so which is or £9.99, £79.92. You're going to save £47.95. If you're not in the club, it was £31.97. If you are in the club, you'll get your discount. And don't forget, it's Freebie Friday up until midnight this evening. All orders over £50 will get a pack of that lovely Great Lakes paper. And if it goes over £75,
I told you I'd make it easy for you.
then you'll get the paper and one of our fantastic Clarity roller tape glue runners.
So we've gone way over the edge. Look, we're nearly on 3:30. I apologise, but not really, because I wanted to show you how those
That was
stamps work.
definitely-
They're a constructive thing, you know. And if you like jigsaw puzzles, if we're colouring in, they're absolutely brilliant to use.
And the colour, the application of the ink pads on the spot-on sponges.
Yeah,
that will jump
very
in your
interesting
basket.
how it changes, especially
Yeah.
with new ink pads. And that goes for the distress oxides, that goes for the distress normal inks, that goes for any wet ink pads. Use the spot-on sponge as a little kind of a blotting platform, and then you can go back and use the ink on those
Yeah,
as
because
well.
I remember back in the day when you used to get a new ink pad, I remember you telling me you'd get a kitchen roll out and you'd be blotting.
You would, because it'd be so saturated with ink.
Yeah.
And you'd go through, you'd have to weigh up, do I want to waste a load of ink or do I want to waste a load of card? Because either way, something's got to give.
And it's a confidence thing, because if it's a really juicy and you stamp it, you think,
I know. And now when you're using these, you just keep dabbing it on there, and you don't get rid of all the ink.
No, and in the Grey Friday sale, the item number for those for a pack of 4 is 31215.
And so that brings us to the end of today's sale shows.
Yes.
Sunday, we're back on Sunday.
We are indeed.
3 till 5. and that'll be really
Something a
a
little bit-
cracking
I was going
show.
to say, we'll be even more nuttier than
Yeah,
normal,
we'll
I
be even
think.
nuttier than normal, but it's going to be a cracking show.
Yeah,
There you go. And also, it's the 1st of December,
it is.
which means there's something great happening at Clarity. More will be revealed on Sunday.
Yeah.
Um,
And then after that, we're back on Monday at 10, 12 and 2.
Yeah, so
for
that
the
brings up
last
the-
day.
yeah, so on Monday, the Shack will be a selly show, won't
Yeah.
it? It'll be demos, tricks and tips, and we'll be going groovy.
We are going groovy.
We're going
some
groovy on
beautiful
Monday.
collections.
Yeah, really lovely. So thank you for
absolutely.
your company. Paul, thanks for your
Thank
help.
you.
And Jilly in the chat room, thanks for
Thank you very
joining
much.
us.
Yeah.
And we will, oh, and don't forget, if you're going to join me tomorrow for the Viaduct online workshop, that's a really inner circle kind of special thing. Really excited about that. I'm going to dress this set, make it lovely, and
Yeah.
we'll see you at 1 o'clock,
1 o'clock
tomorrow. Okay.